Recruiting is starting to slow down around the country, except for Nebraska. The Huskers are heating up. So in today's video, we have a huge recruiting update for you today. We're going to talk about a certain 4-star defensive line prospect looking to commit soon, updates around other Nebraska targets, and then a status check on not one, but 2 5-star linemen that the Huskers are after. So really quick, before we get into this jam-packed recruiting episode, make sure to smash that like button if you're fired up. And hey, while you're at it, please subscribe to the channel. I post a video about Nebraska football every single day, and we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers by the football season. So if you're a diehard fan of this program and you enjoy daily content talking about your favorite team, what are you doing? Please hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking about Nebraska recruiting. And yeah, things are starting to heat up. The Huskers are not done in the class of 2025. And let's start it off with a guy who looks to be on the precipice of committing to Nebraska. 4-star defensive lineman, the #1 player in North Dakota, Kade Pietrzak. And this is where I pat myself on the back a little bit. 1 week ago on my live stream, back when everybody thought that he was going to commit to the Oklahoma Sooners, I said, don't you mind those crystal balls to Oklahoma. They don't mean anything. Those came in right after his official visit to Norman. He later went on an OV to Lincoln. He loved it. He loved Nebraska. Loved talking to Matt Rhule. And I predicted then and there, 1 week ago, that he would commit to the Huskers. And then, of course, a couple days after that live stream, Tony White, Terrence Knighton, they tweeted out that a commitment is coming soon. And then the Kade Pietrzak crystal ball started rolling in. So another case of just reading in between the lines here. Again, this is why you guys watch the videos. Kade Pietrzak was always a guy who loved Nebraska. He loved Matt Rhule. He loved the city. And you have to read in between the lines when it comes to those crystal balls. And looks like he will be a Husker commit. But again, talking about him as a player, he's the real deal. One of the best players in the Midwest. A guy who gets it done in both the pass rush and the running game, getting to the quarterback and running back respectively. So just a mauler, game wrecker in Nebraska. They're probably going to get him this weekend, if not next week, but all signs point to him committing to the Huskers by the end of July. So, man, big-time commitment there that we're going to be on watch for. So definitely have some eyes out for Kade Pietrzak making it official, but big news there. But let's take it to some 5-star tackles that the Huskers are after, starting off with David Sanders in the class of 2025. Of course, Nebraska was recently put in his top 4 schools. He's committing in mid-August. Nebraska's battling Tennessee, Georgia, and Ohio State, respectively. Now, it was announced earlier this week that he is going to be looking to visit Nebraska again late July, early August to get another crack at Lincoln, to meet with Matt Rhule again, likely about NIL and playing time, and then also to meet Dylan Raiola once again and again discuss potentially his future in Lincoln. So I've said this in the past when it comes to David Sanders. Nebraska has a real chance. There's too many fans who are putting this off to the side and saying, David Sanders, the only reason why he put the Huskers on there was for clicks, was for engagement. David Sanders is the #2 player in the class of 2025. No matter who he put on his top 4, he was going to get engagement. He has thousands of followers on Twitter and Instagram combined. Okay, he put Nebraska on there because he's really interested in Lincoln, in the Huskers, in Matt Rhule, and he's giving us a real opportunity here. Now, am I saying Nebraska has the best chance to land him? Absolutely not. We probably have the worst out of his top 4, but we have a chance. We have an opportunity, and him coming on another visit just confirms that. So David Sanders, there is a chance where the Huskers land him. Again, would I bet on it? No. But definitely something to keep your eyes on when he comes on a visit and what's going on there. So again, David Sanders slated to commit August 17th, but one of the best players in the country is still considering Nebraska. But let's go to another 5-star tackle. This time in the class of 2026, Jackson Cantwell out of Nixa, Missouri, released his top 14 schools, and of course, Nebraska made the cut. Now, in the past, I've not been the biggest fan of these top 10 schools, top 12 schools, because they don't really mean anything. Oh, Nebraska made the initial cut. But this is different here because I think Nebraska is a leader in the Jackson Cantwell recruiting process. Of course, I think if he were to make a top 4, top 3, Nebraska would make it as of right now. Now, Jackson Cantwell, again, the number 2 player in his respective class, guy who plays basketball as well, is one of the best shot putters in America. Both of his parents are Olympians. He has a lot of Nebraska ties. His mom is from Crete, Nebraska. He grew up around the program. He grew up in the state. In Nebraska, has a very good chance of getting Jackson Cantwell. So expect him to come on a visit in the fall, even late this summer. So somebody to watch out on, because, man, he's considering the Huskers as well. And like I've said before, you're not going to miss on these 5-stars again if you have a winning season this year. So 2 5-star tackles are very interested in the Huskers. But let's get some updates around the class of 2025, what's going on with some of the other prospects Nebraska's after. Well, let's go over to Will Hawthorne. So I've talked about him a lot over the last couple of weeks. Of course, he's the number 1 linebacker in the state of Iowa, high 3-star, and it's down to us or Iowa State. Now, he has officially said that he will commit in late July. There's not an official date, but he said it will be a late July commitment, so expect this week. That is when Will Hawthorne will make things official. And I've literally said it's a 50-50. It definitely is a 50-50 for Will Hawthorne because he grew up an Iowa State fan. He's right outside of Ames. But Nebraska wowed him. He loved going to Lincoln. He said that he went to Lincoln for the Maryland game last year, and he just loved the atmosphere. And he also loves the Big Ten. So this is about as 50-50 as any commitment gets. Now, I will say one thing, actually 2 things about Will Hawthorne. Number 1, in his recent interview, he's talking about both programs, he was gushing about Nebraska rather than Iowa State. That gives me a good sign. And number 2 about Will Hawthorne, the fact of the matter is the Huskers playing the Big Ten. He loves the Big Ten. He feels like that's built for the way he plays. For that reason, expect Nebraska to get him next week or one of the last weeks in July. So a little update there around Will Hawthorne. He makes things official that he will commit at the end of this month. Now, one more update, and this is Christian Jones. I want to clearly air around him because too many people are speculating that he's going to commit the end of July, early August. Like I've said in my past videos, Christian Jones is a fall commitment. It looks like he will not make things official until probably October, November. He's already trying to set up visits to Miami, Wisconsin, Oklahoma again, and I'd expect Nebraska to probably get another visit from him. So Christian Jones will not commit until later this fall. And like I've said in the past, this is a good thing for the Huskers. He cares about winning over everything else. And if he were to commit right now, it would not be to Nebraska simply because of the fact that the Huskers haven't won. But if he waits till the fall and sees what we're going to do this season, that's going to change his mind. And for that reason, the fact that he's waiting means only good things for Nebraska and Christian Jones. So a little update there around the number 1 player in Nebraska. But I know a lot of people were speculating that he was going to commit to us when Tony White and Terrence Knighton tweeted out what they did. That was not for Christian Jones. That was for Kade Pietrzak. He will not commit until the fall. So a little update there around Nebraska recruiting. Again, the 2025 class, we're going to get some commitments here soon, and the 2026 class is heating up. So, man, let me know down below. Are you excited about getting some commitments here? Do you think we have a chance at David Sanders? How are you feeling about Kade Pietrzak? Of course, comment down below. And, hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. If you could hit that button, that would help me out a lot. But that'll do it for me here on the Will Simmons Sports page. As always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.